Chris, who wins the Sport E and the modified VP finals. And so we move now on to the final heat of the Transatlantic Challenge. $16,500 awaiting the winners of this event. The boats being launched, 25 boats will once again start. And someone obviously has discarded their engine, but the crowd that has really grown in size, estimated now at something like 30,000 people all the way around the course, enjoying powerboat racing at its very best here in the Bahamas. Enjoying it in many different ways. The Bahamians, very happy people indeed, and I think enjoying immensely this kind of water sport. The Bahamian flag being held up, Billy Seabold, Ken Stevenson or Lee Sutter, who will it be? The flag is waved and away they go, 25 boats, very fast indeed. It looks as if Vic Blackie and Peter Inwood have made excellent starts, as has Billy Seabold, Mark Wilson and Nick Cripps. Everybody gets away to a clean start. They come down towards the turn by the British Colonial Hotel, and it's Billy Seabold who goes straight into the lead. Round the buoy he goes. That looks to be Stevenson in second place, but Peter Inwood well up there in third place. Side by side, down the back straight they come, past those impressive liners and the tall ship. Seabold just leading from his arch rival, Ken Stevenson, who's on the outside. Can he get a quicker line around the buoy? Round they go, literally side by side. It's Seabold just leading. 201 Stevenson shooting by though into the lead now, but it's still side by side, Seabold and Stevenson going round the corner, absolutely neck and neck as they come down towards us. Both boats bouncing high out the water. Seabold goes through into the lead. Peter Inwood really fighting there in third place. Inwood certainly the leading European, and in fact it looks as if Peter's got into second place. Side by side he is with Stevenson. Stevenson snatches second place back. Stevenson knowing that he must finish in second place to win the Transatlantic Challenge. Seabold though out in the lead, but Peter Inwood challenging all the while in second place. He's up into second place past Ken Stevenson. Those two having a terrific scrap, and look at Seabold go. Tight into second place goes Peter Inwood, number 13, who made such an excellent start. Mark Wilson, Lee Sutter, John Daniels, Nick Cripps, John Hill, Fiona Brothers also very well up in this event. Through goes Seabold. Second place now, Peter Inwood, and Inwood is closing on Billy Seabold. So Seabold, Peter Inwood, Stevenson, first, second and third, and Stevenson challenging, I think, round the outside. Will he cross to the inside? No, still first, second and third. The same, Lee Sutter is in fourth place. It's Seabold leading, and side by side down the back straight they come. And look at this, and Stevenson edging past on the outside. Can he make it through the corner? They turn very tightly through the corner left on this sort of triangular course. Still Inwood in second place. Lee Sutter fourth, and their fifth is John Hill. And a retirement there, number 254. But our eyes are turned to Ken Stevenson, who's taken second place off Inwood. No, he hasn't. Inwood's fought back. Stevenson in second place, Inwood in third place, but Inwood going a little bit wide there through our camera position. Nick Cripps having a battle with Art Kennedy. Kennedy coming up on the inside. That's Paul Gastad from Sweden on the outside. He's being lapped. Number 2, I think, will take the turn on the inside, takes a hard turn left. Through that 270-degree turn he goes. But still, look at this battle for second place behind Billy Seabold. Stevenson it is, I think, just in second. Inwood right behind him. Takes a tight line there. 201 Stevenson in second place. That's all he has to do to win the Transatlantic Challenge. But Seabold, remember, must try and stay ahead all the time. John Hill has gone through our pictures. There's Fiona Brothers. Fiona in 11th place at the moment. This is the first time that Fiona has raced on salt water. She's normally used to racing on lakes. She goes away as we see number 82, Lee Sutter. Lee Sutter trying to get into third place. And there is Art Kennedy. Art Kennedy at the moment running in 9th place, some way down. And once again, Fiona Brothers taking Paul Gastad. And you get an idea, there's beautiful clear waters here in the Bahamas. You can see the coral just underneath. and Billy Siebold leads. And look at him around the turn. The traction of these boats on the water is quite incredible. And what a sight these boats make. Siebold leading, Stevenson in second place, Inwood now in third place, Mark Wilson is in fourth place, Lee Sutter is in fifth place. Sixth place is John Daniels. Seventh place, 547 now, Ted Jones. He's going well, but he didn't compete in the first heat. Nick Cripps having a battle with Ian Bakke from Norway. As you can see, the drivers coming from all over the world to compete in the Bacardi Rum Bahamas Grand Prix. And Siebold there taking a wide line, staying right out of trouble. But look at the yaw almost that boat has. It's sliding to us as if it was a crab. Second there, 2:01, Ken Stevenson. If he can finish in that place, he'll win the Challenge Championship. Lee Sutter has come up into fourth place, ahead of Mark Wilson, but still behind Peter Inwood. So Sutter now making his presence felt. Through comes our leader, Billy Siebold, the 1981 World Champion and the 1982 National Champion in America. In second place, 2:01, Ken Stevenson. Ken now some 6 seconds behind Siebold, but it is to be Billy Siebold who is to win the third heat of the Transatlantic Champion of Champions. But in second place and winner of the series outright will be 2:01, this man, Ken Stevenson. So the winner of this heat, Billy Siebold, second, Ken Stevenson, third, Lee Sutter, fourth, Peter Inwood, fifth, Mark Wilson, sixth, John Saunders. And so the 1982 Transatlantic Champion is Ken Stevenson, who wins with 1,000 points. Second place is Billy Siebold with 927. We asked Ken what he thought of his victory here in Nassau.
I feel great considering I got across the water in one piece. This is probably some of the roughest water I've ever been over. The first day it wasn't too bad. The second day today was terrible.
Now, it looked tremendously exciting out there, especially when you came down the back straight a few times with Billy Siebold. What is it like to drive one of these things at, well, averaging well over 110 miles an hour?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe, really. I think the thing to do is you'll have to go for a ride in a two-seater to really find out. But it's like trying to fly an airplane about an inch above the water. And it's not that difficult, but it does take some time to develop the skill.
Finally, what's it like then to have won here this amazing race, which is really regarded by many as almost a world championships, because for the first time we've got the Americans versus the Europeans.
The biggest and the best are here, and to come out number one is really something.
Ken, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
With 2 heat wins and 1 fifth place from the first heat, Billy Siebold finishes second. We asked him to explain to us what it was like flying across the water as he does.
Well, actually, in a tunnel boat of this type, 850-pound boat that is capable of running 135 to 140 miles an hour, you actually do try to fly it. Of course, in this type of water, it's hard to get the propeller to carry the boat completely clean of the water, and you know, when you get the swells off the tugboats and everything, it's very difficult in this water. This is probably the most difficult water to drive in because you got swells coming from different directions and a constant chop too that you have to read. And of course, the high winds today, you have to kind of read the wind currents on the water also.
The champ boat, the endurance race comes up now. Is that going to be as exciting?
That will definitely be as exciting because the way the water conditions are right now, there's no way that that anyone can go out and run his equipment flat out for 50 laps because the gear cases are taking a terrible pounding today. The engines are probably turning up to about 10 grand and then they re-enter the water, and that's a lot of load on the gears.
Billy Siebold, thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next race.
Thank you very much.
And what was a woman doing in a male-orientated sport? We asked Fiona Brothers.
Having a good time and showing them that women can race as well as the men.
Do they ever give you any problems, or are they much more polite considering you're a woman?
They don't give me any special treatment once you're out on the water because when you've got your helmet on, people tend to forget who's in the boat anyway. They treat each boat separately.
Sponsorship easier to find because you're a woman?
I must be honest, it is easier for me, but a lot of the drivers underestimate the potential they have as powerboat drivers because you really put your life on the line out there, and there's a lot of publicity that can be gained from a sport as exciting as this.
One of the leading European contenders and finishing an excellent 7th place overall and 4th in that last heat was Peter Inwood. What did he think of the event?
Well, I must admit that it's been one of the most exciting races that I've ever participated in. It is, in fact, the first time in the history of circuit powerboat racing that we've had such an incredible field of drivers, both from Europe and from America. I think there's barely one driver who's not here in the top 20 in the world. And although we see the drivers from America coming to Europe and ourselves to America, up until this is the first event where we've been able to bring our own rigs, our own boats. We've always borrowed other people's equipment, which is at a slight disadvantage because no man's going to lend his second boat if it's competitive. And so Nicky Cripps, who's the organizer of this race, and Bacardi have very kindly brought the Europeans, 10 of us, and all our own rigs been transported across the Atlantic. They were shipped out of Southampton about a month ago, and we are at least fairly competitive now. I must confess that some of the Americans are just a little bit better than us, but the Americans, of course, make the engines which we have to use in Europe, so perhaps we're at a disadvantage.
The final event of the Grand Prix meeting is the Champ Boat Race, the final round of the NPA series. This race will be over some 50 laps as a mandatory fuel stop, and indeed there are going to be 29 boats starting this race. Because of the fading light conditions, the organisers have decided to do away with the qualifying heats, which would have whittled those 29 starters down to 25. So they're going to be a full complement of an amazing 29 of these boats going for the Champ Boat Race. The Europeans hope to do well here. Peter Inwood in number 13, and of course number 21 boat Tony Williams, who is the reigning Fonda World Series champion and who also holds the world speed record at 137.96 miles an hour for these types of boats. 29 boats will start. The Bahamian flag is up, and they're away in 9,000 brake horsepower of engines there, churning up the waters here in Nassau Harbour. They go away for the start of this endurance race. And they're getting away to an excellent start is Mark Wilson and Peter Inwood. Johnny Sanders and his teammate Ken Stevenson also going well, as is Billy Seabold. Steve Allison, the yellow boat, also well up there, the Myers Rum boat. And there's some 29 boats going around this corner in every which way. They'll come down the back straight towards us. And I think it's the two orange boats, the two Arcadian boats, in the lead. Johnny Sanders and Ken Stevenson side by side. Sanders taking the lead, but only just. Stevenson taking a look to the outside. Will he try the inside? Look how sharply they turn around, the boys. Speeds over 100 miles an hour. In third place is Backy, fourth place is Inwood, fifth place is Allison. The rest of the field going through. Through goes Fiona Brothers, well up, around about 10th place. We change back to the leaders, and it is still the two orange boats leading, first and second. It's Sanders leading, but only just from his teammate, as another flying boat literally leaves at the moment. We turn our attentions back to the race. It's Sanders leading from his teammate challenging on the outside. They're side by side into the corner. It's Stevenson from Sanders. It's Stevenson in second place, the man who is the transatlantic champion in 1982. And just look at this water churning up. 29 boats, the world's fastest inshore powerboats here for the Bahamas Grand Prix. Is into the lead goes Ken Stevenson, although his teammate has probably taken a tighter line into the corner. Ken Huntell there, 575, one of the promoters, one of the stockholders of the NPA. He goes through. Ken running in around about 12th place, and almost out of shape there, Steve Allison with the Myers Rum boat. He's going to have to be very careful. The wind's still fairly up on here, about 20 knots wind we have so far, and a battle coming down here for 6th place between John Mesh and Nick Cripps, side by side. John Mesh showing very well in this marathon race. Remember, they've got to make one mandatory pit stop, but look at this battle for the lead. 2:01, Ken Stevenson now into the lead. In second place is teammate, but third place is Seabold now. Seabold coming up into third place. In fourth place looks to be number 8, Ian Backy. In fifth place is Inwood. In sixth place is Art Kennedy. Seventh place is Allison. Eighth place is Mark Wilson. Ninth place now is Mesh. And in 10th place is Lee Sutter. The first 10 going through. And look, first, second, and third very close together now. The two Arcadian boats being challenged by Billy Seabold. They're side by side. It's Stevenson only just from Sanders. What an incredible race. And look at that cornering speed of Billy Seabold, who's catching up all the while in third place. Still the two orange boats, first and second. But no, on the far side, Seabold trying to take the lead. Seabold on the inside. These two arch rivals once again battling it out for the lead. It's Billy Seabold from Ken Stevenson. And there they are, first, second and third, almost tied together side by side. Who will it be round there? And Stevenson It is Seabold trying to take the inside line. On the outside line, it was Sanders, and there is Seabold going through the middle. Incredible racing here. Fiona Brothers also doing very well, up into 10th place. And there's an accident there, big one there. Steve Allison, who was in 5th place, he's out of the boat, he's been thrown clear, but all the boats are going around him, he has no protection. Allison in great danger there, because it's very difficult to see the driver, very difficult indeed. He's been thrown completely clear of that boat. The race will certainly have to be stopped, surely. This is a very dangerous situation indeed. Allison, his life certainly in danger there. He's almost out of view of the spectator boats that there are around here, but through comes one of the rescue boats to protect him from the oncoming boats. And there's someone getting very close to him. Seabold, meanwhile, has taken the lead, and they're still racing on the far side of the circuit, although nobody in theory is allowed to overtake. Seabold in the lead, and the light is fading. They're going to certainly have to stop this race. And yes, there is the red flag. The red flag is out, and of course this will not count as a race. It was run for less than 25 of the scheduled 50-lap marathon, and Steve Allison being taken onto the Red Cross boats. The rescue boats all around him. The red flag has been shown, rightly so, and so we have a restart, and the restart is only going to be over a 20-lap race, so just 20 laps for this final champ boat race. And so with the sun setting over the New Providence Island here, and the dusk falls very quickly, just 20 laps for this final race here of this fantastic Bahamas Grand Prix. 28 boats will start this race, the light fading all the time, and away they go to a clean start. Once again, just under 9,000 brake horsepower, churning up the waters here, past the packed beaches. And look at the boats coming towards us in the dusk light. A phenomenal view of these boats. And once again, Peter Inwood makes an excellent start, as does Ian Backey from Norway, who goes into the lead from Ken Stevenson. And there, John Mesh also making a very good start. Lee Sutter well up there. Fiona Brothers also well up there, as is Peter Inwood and Tony Williams. They all head off down the back straight. And they fan out towards our camera. Ian Backey there in the lead, but he's being taken by John Mesh, number 186. On the outside looks to be, sure enough, that is Ken Stevenson, I think. Stevenson heading down the outside, the first three side by side, and Johnny Mesh takes the lead in number 186. But through into second place is that man, Ken Stevenson. Still John Mesh leading as they come down towards the Colonial Hotel turn. Through he comes, and Ian Backey there in third place from Norway. An excellent day before him here, of course, in the Bahamas. And we have a new race leader because Backey has gone back out into the lead. Once again, 186 though takes the lead. And Stevenson has changed into second place, Backey back into third place, Lee Sutter in fourth place. And just look at these boats crabbing towards our camera positions as Mesh and Stevenson fight it out. Side by side towards us they come, rooster tails there. It is still Mesh just leading, but Stevenson is trying to take the lead with 2:01. He does it. Can he cut on the inside? Mesh trying once again, but I think it's Stevenson who has taken the lead. Stevenson once again leads this race, and Mesh goes wide there, very wide indeed, still in second place. But look at that catamaran fly. There is Mesh now in second place. It is in third place Sutter, and in fourth place looks to be Ian Backey in fourth place, but he's being challenged by Ben Robertson, the man who was disqualified from the Transatlantic Champion of Champions. He's back, of course, in this race. 2:01 leads, though. Ken Stevenson leads as they go round the marker. The light fading all the time. John Mesh still in second place, behind Ken Stevenson, who is literally flying towards our camera position here, which is dug into the beach shoreline. Stevenson going out of our sight, the light fading all the time. Ian Backey having a big battle there with Nicky Cripps. There's Ken Hudnall in 10th place. He's been lapped. That's his Seabold hull going through. And now in 6th place is Peter Inwood. Inwood in 6th place, but trying to catch 5th place man. That is Ben Robertson. But challenging these two is Billy Seabold, who's making his presence felt. He passed Peter Inwood and coming up now to take Ben Robertson for yet another place. Seabold goes through. He'll take 5th place, soon to become 4th place. And someone has collected the marker buoy, and there's no marker buoy around the Colonial Hotel here, so there's no way that the racers in this fading light can tell where they're going to go. And I reckon